Hi YouTube, this is part 2 of my Heal Your Spine series, where today we will be focusing on strengthening your spine. There's optional use of a yoga block in today's series, but it is not required to participate. Let's get right into it. Get started. We are going to start in seated with our feet flat and our knees bent. Ours are going to be energized and straight out in front of you with the palms facing down. We're combining a half roll down here with our teasers. This is a tough warm-up, so give yourself some slack if you find this challenging. We're going to pull your core up and in and create a C curve in your spine as we start to lean back. Start vigorously pumping your arms up and down as you inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, and inhale 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to sit up tall and do that again. So again, finding that core engagement by pulling up and in as you create that C curve, tilting the pelvis forward, starting to rock back right to that point of instability. Start vigorously pumping your arms again and coordinating your breath. Inhaling as you pull that core up and in, reaching through the fingertips, feeling yourself getting longer, and exhale. One more breath here. Inhale and exhale and sit up tall. We're going to do that one more time. See if you can challenge yourself even further here by leaning back even more. So I just finished here. I'm going to try to challenge myself one more inch back without hurting that sacral spine, and start vigorously pumping your arms up and down as you inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, exhale 2, 3, 4, 5, and one more breath. Pulling up the core, leaning back farther. Good, getting so strong. And sit up. You can roll all the way down flat on your mat, extending the arms up tall towards the ceiling. Full roll up next. Inhaling to lift your head and shoulders up off the mat. Exhale to reach all the way up and through, diving between your hands. Arms are in parallel with your legs. Inhale, restack the spine one vertebrae at a time. And exhale, slow and controlled, as if it's slow motion movement happening here, to roll all the way down flat. Inhale, head and shoulders. Exhale, reach up and through. Arms in parallel with your legs. Inhale, restack your spine. And exhale, slow this down. This is the challenge here. Coming all the way down, one vertebrae at a time, like a staircase. And lay flat. Inhale, head and shoulders. Exhale, reach. Restack. Lay down. We're going to pick up the pace here. Coordinate your breath as you see fit. Reaching up and through. Rolling back down. Inhale, up and through. Exhaling to come down. 2 more. Inhale to reach. Exhale, come all the way down. Inhale, reach. Get really long, lengthen through the spine. And come all the way down. We're going to transition to our scissors next. Hug your knees towards your chest. Recenter yourself on your mat here. Very good. Lifting the head and shoulders up off of the mat. Extending the legs long up towards the ceiling. Grabbing onto the right calf, allowing the left leg to hover down. Pulsing the right leg towards your chest for 1, 2, switch to the left. Pulsing in for 1, 2, switch. 1, 2, switch. So there's 2 things going on here. We're getting a really nice hamstring stretch, keeping those knees super straight as we get the leg closer, but we're also using our abdominals to get closer to that leg. A lot of times when our back pain starts to get super flared up, we have to ask ourselves, is this mobility related or strength, or is it both? And a lot of times hamstrings can be a huge culprit for having an impact on how we're holding our pelvis and putting excessive pressure through the low spine. Keep switching your legs back and forth. Getting some extra sets in here because I went off. Hug your knees towards your chest and relax the head down. Let's massage the spine, guiding the legs back and forth. Placing the hands underneath your knee creases and rocking up to sit for our saw. Saw is one of my favorites because it involves a lot of controlled rotation through the spine. So not only are we working on mobility here, opening up the arms out to a T, legs are about mat width, but we're focusing on strengthening within our mobility. I've got my arms out to a T, but I can still see them in my peripheral vision, so you might have to bring them slightly forward to make sure you can do the same. Staying long in the spine, twisting to the right, reaching the arms up and over so the left pinky lines up with the right pinky toe. Pulsing here for 1, 2, get taller, back through center, twisting and lifting up and over to line up those pinky fingers with the pinky toes, and back through center. Good. Switching to the right, reaching up and over. Have some fun with this. See if you want to challenge yourself by getting even deeper into that stretch. Challenging your hamstrings again here, keeping those knees straight. Reaching up and through. Keeping that abdominal engaged even as you twist. Pulsing back and forth one more time, right to left. And twisting to the left, last one. Good, we're gonna flip on over to our tummies for our swan next. Hands are gonna come behind where your head meets your neck, creating a little bit of a hammock here, and then allowing your forehead to rest on the mat. Core pulled up and in as if you could fit a blueberry underneath your belly button. All 10 toes stay flat on the mat. You're gonna start to hover up your head, hands, and heart off the mat. But first engage your shoulder stabilizers to lift the elbows up, and now hover up. Head, hands, and hearts are up off the mat. Staying here for 3, 2, 1. Lower down for 3, 2, 1. Again, hovering up, keeping your feet down, core pulled up and in. Don't let this all be dependent on your spinal extensors. We've got to engage the deep abdominals to stay here. And slowly lower down. Good, we've got 3 more, so pace yourself here. Core pulled up and in, hover up. Holding for 3, 2, 1. Lower down for 3, 2, 1. 2 more. Core pulled up and in. Start to lift up and off. Engage those shoulder stabilizers. Keep those elbows wide. Holding 3, 2, 1. Lower down for 3, 2, 1. Last one, guys. Make this your best. Elbows are up and off. Core pulled up and in. Hover up. Let's see if you can get even higher. 3, 2, 1. Lower down. 3, 2, 1. Good. Hug your elbows towards your chest and push through the heels of the hands. Push back into an active rest pose. Good. Massaging the hips side to side. Making this even more active by pushing again through the heels of the hands and curving through the spine. Core should be active to make this happen. We're going to transition into our swimmers next. So our swimmer is a fun exercise that involves both arms and legs extended long at opposite ends of your body. When we start to engage our swimmers, arms and legs are going to move in opposite tandem to create almost a swimming pose. An optional use of hovering the head, hands, and hearts off the mat, just as we did for your swan, or keeping them lowered and just having our arms and legs move, okay? So again, setting yourself up correctly, center yourself in your mat, extend arms and legs in opposite directions, straight. Hover the legs and hands off the mat and start pumping them up and down in opposite directions. Holding 4, 8, 7, 6, keep going, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower both down. We're going to do that one more time. Again, hover the arms up, hover the legs up, hover yourself up if you choose, and start pumping. 8, 7, 6, pull the core up and in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Push through those heels of the hands again, back into rest. Stick here as long as you want, but I'm slowly going to transition to our next exercise, which will involve you laying on your back. We're going to set up for our bridge pose next. Recentering ourselves on our mats. Knees are bent and feet are flat. Palms are on the mat with the palms facing down. Pushing through your feet, you're going to start to roll up your hips into bridge pose or shoulder bridge. Staying here for 3, 2, engage your glutes. 1, lower down, slow and controlled. So some people like to focus on the glutes with a bridge. Some people like to focus on the core. We're going to do both here. Lift up the hips. Holding for 3, 2, 1, lower down. Good, we've got 3 more bridges here. You can choose to make your optional progressions here if you want to start shifting your weight side to side, lifting up one leg. Just don't let those hips drop down if you choose to switch your weight back and forth. And then refine your center. Lower down, we've got 2 more. Lifting the hips up and off the mat. Holding for 3, choose whatever kind of progressions you want to do. You could even lift the heels up off the mat if you're trying to strengthen your calves more. Lower down. 1 more, make this your best. Holding at the top, lift the hips up. Even higher. 3, 2, 1. Lowering down. Good, hug your knees towards your chest. Place the hands underneath the knee creases to rock up to sit. We're going to transition into what we call hip cars next. This focuses a lot on hip mobility, but also core strength of making sure we don't rock our hips side to side while we're challenging both our internal and external rotators at the hip. So I'm going to talk you through this. Meeting me on your side, knees are bent. We're going to hover up the top leg off the mat. And now we're going to begin controlled rotation, first bringing the foot closer towards the front of your mat. And then slowly bringing the knee closer, foot moves away. So this is internal rotation. This is external rotation. We're going to move between these, keeping the leg abducted or lifted up off the mat. So that glute med is engaged as we start turning on and off our internal and external rotators. Keep moving through both directions. Good, we're going to repeat this again, lower the leg down and hover it right back up. So abductors are on. Maybe even place the hand on the hip if you feel stable here. Core's pulled up and in. Start internal to external. Keep going. Internal to external. And back and forth. 4 more. In to out. In and out. In and out. In and out. Switch to the other side. Left leg is up on top. Lowering down on the right elbow, bending the knees, hovering the left leg up, and start those external to internal rotations. And I would look over at the video, but I can't because the sun is so bright. So make sure you check out yourself. Are your hips stacked? Core's pulled up and in. Does your rotation look nice and smooth, or is it super choppy? The goal is smooth. And lower the leg down. 1 more set. Lifting the leg up and external to internal. And external to internal. Back and forth. Smooth out the edges here, guys. And 1 more. Internal to external. Good. You're going to meet me on all 4, so on hands and knees. This is where the yoga block comes in. So this is a really fun new one that if you haven't worked on some of those deep sacral spine muscles that help really move our pelvis in this plane back and forth, this is going to feel new to you. So for example, I'm starting out on all 4s. My left leg is the working leg and my right leg is stable. I'm starting to think of hovering my knee up and off the mat towards the ceiling while keeping the right leg down, hovering up and back down. Such a small movement here, but keeping that core engaged, deep abdominals are active, and deep spinal extensors and rotators are helping this motion happen. Good, keep going. This is where the yoga block would come in handy to go under the standing leg, so I'll show that. This is just allowing us more range to work with, right? So now my hip can kind of drop down and hover right back up. Good. Lowering down. So I encourage you to use the yoga block and try this again to see, okay, does this seem more real to you now, this motion? Keep moving through this. We're going to do 8 on the left. 1. I'll be nice. That was definitely 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. And 8. Good. Let's switch to the other leg. So blocks under the left leg. Hands are down, allowing the right knee to fall and hike right back up. Lowering to lift, lower to lift. Let's add in some extra for this right side since the left got so much play. We're going to do 6 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good work. And get rid of that yoga block. We're going to finish off with a mermaid stretch, including a slight oblique or side abdominal lift. So I've got my legs towards my left. I'm going to lift the left arm up and over towards the right side and then back down. So that's our mermaid, right? And then right arm reaches to the opposite side. We're going to add on an oblique lift by placing the right hand down, lifting up the hips as we reach up and over towards the right, and then lowering the back down. Still reach that right arm over to the left. We're getting side stretching in both directions. And again, oblique lift. And bringing the hips back down, reach up and over. Bring the hand back down, oblique lift. Good, you've got 2 more. We're still getting some engagement here, but this one should feel nice. So hang out in this. Feel the mermaid. And 1 more. Switch your feet over to the opposite side. And now I've got my left arm stabilizing. I'm reaching up and over. This is where we get that oblique lift. And place the hand back down. Reach left up towards the right. Again, feel that side stretch. Hover the hips up and reach. And switching over opposite side. Reaching up. Good. Oblique lift. Getting so strong. This is our last exercise. So feeling everything you worked on today and acknowledging the time you put in to try to heal your spine. 1 more lift. And if you started right with this strengthening series today, go back and watch that mobility first and then come back to this, because without mobility, it is so hard to start strengthening. We're really nothing without our mobility. That is the end of today's series. I hope you guys enjoyed and have a great rest of your day.